On slide number 8, would it be funny if I made the same joke about the video not being here yet? We're going to click this link. And again, we've got a table over here. We've got a graph with some dots here, but they're not necessarily where I want them to be this time. So I've got an extra step before I try to print this thing out. Because I can't see all the data that's important. What we're looking at here is the weight of a mammal's body in kilograms compared to the weight of a mammal's brain in grams. This came from a data set from New Zealand Department of Education. I'm going to see what happens if I just click the zoom out button. Now I start seeing more dots. Yeah, I can just keep zooming out, but I'm not seeing the dots in the way that I really want to. So I need to not rely on these little zoom buttons, maybe just to get a big picture, but not to actually make a graph that looks the way that it's supposed to. So instead, I'm going to hit the wrench. Now, I would like you to go to your calculator, go to the tab, and just hit the wrench. You can zoom out if you want to, but you need to be looking at this thing. Pause if you need to go and open this up, and then I'm going to tell you what we're going to write in here and why we're going to write it that way. Okay. Thank you for coming back. On the x-axis, that's my horizontal axis. That's the first column. I want to put in the smallest and the biggest numbers that I might want to have on my graph. None of these numbers are smaller than 0, so I can just use 0. After all, something can't weigh less than 0 kilograms. The biggest number on here is I'm sorry, I was looking in the wrong column. The biggest number in my X column is 520. I don't want to do that number exactly. I'm just going to round up. I'm going to round up a lot because these are big numbers. I'm going to say 600. And for my y-axis, well, none of these numbers are less than 0, so I'm going to start with that, and if I'm not happy with it, then I can go in and change it. But it looks like I've got everything, including this little dot that's real close. That must be a little tiny rodent or something. And then the biggest number in the y column is 1600. So 1600. Notice it's right on the edge, and I'm not happy with that. That's the reason I rounded up to 600 on the x-axis. I'm going to go ahead and round this up to, say, 1800, so that my dot isn't right up there on the edge where I can't see it. This, by the way, this dot that's way outside of everything else, I know why that's there. That's the dolphin. It just happened into my random data set, and dolphins have really big brains for the size of their bodies. But I can still do, oh wait, pause, set your scales the way that I've set mine. Okay, welcome back. And now I'm going to do the line of best fit exactly like I did on last video. I want Y1 so that it lines up with this table. I want my tilde, which you can get from your keyboard, or you can hit this keyboard down here and get the tilde that's next to the space bar on this little keypad, the Desmos keypad. Excuse me. Got to go to ABC, and it's right here. I said next to the space bar. It's not next to the space bar. It's right there. Out of my way, me. Now I just type in mx1 plus b, because that looks like my slope-intercept form of an equation, so it's going to estimate the line. Now I want you to notice that my dots are pretty far away from my line now. And that's because I have this point way up here. Dolphins are not like any of the other animals that were on the list. I mean, this is a cow. It's bigger than a dolphin, but it's got a much smaller brain. Dolphins are exceptional, like humans and octopoids and things like that. They've got really big brains. So they pull the whole line up, but this is still my line of best fit. And I can try to use it to make predictions for the brain size compared to the body size of other mammals. Like, I would expect an animal that weighed 500 kilograms to have a brain that was somewhere around 750, okay, just because it lines up with where the line goes. And we can use this line to make predictions like that. Okay, good job.